Hello everyone. Welcome to day 9 of life lessons from Navaratri. Before I go quickly to understand and learn from goddess of day 9, I want to do a quick recap of the last 8 days. The reason I want to do this is I don't want these videos to be just like any other video of entertainment. We saw earlier the person who takes action is the one who succeeds. I believe that you are an action taker, and I want to quickly recap the last 8 days for refreshing our memories. Day number 1, we learned from goddess Shailaputri. She embodies purity and clarity. In that day, we learned how we as an individual need to be having clear goals in areas of life. On day number 2, we learned from goddess Brahmacharini. She personifies the determination one has to have in achieving success. Her tapas to get married to Shiva was no ordinary. So one has to have determination after setting the goals. On that day, we also saw how disciplines are created. Disciplines are created by habits, what you do every day. In summary, we saw dreams plus deadline is equal to goal, and goals plus consistent action is equal to success. On day number 3, we learned from goddess Chandraghanta, her transformation, Lord Shiva's transformation, and how we can transform our life to the better person that we want to be. There were 7 tools that I spoke about. Remember being the sculpture, the person that you want to be. Start sculpting him every day till you get to that person who you want to be. On day number 5, we learned from goddess Skandamata. She's the mother of Kartikeya, embodiment of compassion. We learned that day how we need to be self-compassionate about our own self. On that day, we also saw when there is a failure with an individual, how he needs to go about enriching his skills and knowledge to achieve his success. On day number 6, we saw and learned from goddess Katyayani how to be fearless. Remember the terror barrier? Never be fearful of uncertainty in life. On day number 7, we learned from goddess Kalratri on time management, how one has to get rid of those Raktabij, the 7 time wasters that we spoke about. On day 8, that is yesterday, we learned from Devi Mahagauri how to be charming and graceful, and we also learned how she shed her skin and what is that we can shed in our lives, the habits that we have been carrying for a long time, that 10 habits that I spoke about, what is that we need to shed and how to become a total quality individual. Today, day number 9, I'm super excited to be here and talking to you. I was thoroughly enjoying the last 8 days. So let's get going. But before that, I want to make a statement. I promise today is going to be very profound and very powerful. Today is an auspicious day. But I'm going to talk, for some people it might sound inauspiciousness. Please stay with me. Just take the essence and don't be emotional about it. It's very important. Today is day 9 and we celebrate and worship today goddess Siddhidatri. Siddhi means supernatural power, or the state of Siddhi, or state of meditativeness, in other words. And Datri means the person who gives, the person who awards. The story of Siddhidatri is when there was complete darkness. We have learned that Devi Kushmanda created this universe with her smile. After that, Devi Kushmanda went on to create Lord Brahma, the energy of creation. After that, Devi Kushmanda went on to create Lord Vishnu, the energy of sustenance, and Lord Shiva, the energy of destruction. Once they were created, Lord Shiva requested Ma Kushmanda to bless him with perfection. So Ma Kushmanda created another goddess called goddess Siddhidatri to bestow the Ashta Siddhi on Lord Shiva. Ashta Siddhi means 8 primary forms of perfection. Hence, goddess Siddhidatri is regarded as giver of perfection. So, Siddhidatri means the person who awards us with great knowledge. In this context, it's great knowledge, great ability, and to see the life in a very different perspective and give us the wisdom to live life very profoundly. She assists individuals to open their mind, to see a new realm, to see a new world. What is the biggest knowledge or wisdom that we could ask for from goddess Siddhidatri? So, how do we live a perfect life? Well, I'm not a master. I know my imperfections. I'm not the competent person to talk about how to live a perfect life. But can we live our lives wisely? Because this life is a beautiful adventure. It's a beautiful gift that we are having. And someday it'll end. And on that someday, when we look back and see our life and say, oh yeah, that was a good life, I think that's perfect enough, isn't it? Would you agree? Have you ever gone on trekking to the mountains? As you are walking up to the peak, you are sweating, you are huffing and puffing, and once you reach the peak and you see down, there will be many trails, many paths that comes to the peak. When you are walking, when you are trekking, you thought that is the only path to go to the top. But from the top, you will see many trails that is coming, and you will say, oh yeah, that was a better one, that was easy, doesn't have that much steepness. I wish I had known when I was walking, because when you're walking, you don't know the image that you're seeing from the top. But you say to yourself, oh, I should have taken that road. I regret that I didn't take it. But the next time when I'm climbing this mountain, that I will come through that path. But well, this is life. You get only one chance. But if we learn from people who have lived in this planet and taught us, left us those knowledge how to live, would that be precious? Yes. I'm now going to transpose you to that someday today and see your life from all those people who have lived before us and left behind, to understand what we could learn to live wisely. That will be a smart way to live. Maybe that might not be the most perfect, but definitely it's a wise way to think and live. Bonnevar is an Australian nurse who spent several years in palliative care. Palliative care is the nursing for the people who are in the last stages of their life. And Bonnevar wrote this beautiful book called 5 Regrets of Dying. She wrote this book after many years of serving the people who were in the last 12 weeks of their life. She wrote on a book how phenomenal the clarity of vision the people had in their last stages and how they could have lived differently. When she questioned them, what is that they will do differently? Like in our example of the different path that they will take, there were 5 themes constantly came back again and again and again. The first regret was, I wish I had the courage to live a life that was true to myself and not what a life that others expected me to live. This was the most common thing. This was the most common regret of all. When people realized that their life is almost over, they could clearly see the number of dreams that was not honored, that was not fulfilled. Most of the people did not fulfill half of their dreams because of the choices they made or the choices they did not make. Good health brings a tremendous amount of freedom. A very few people realize it, and that clarity comes to them when they no longer have it. The second top regret, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. How many times we push ourselves to work hard to bring that bread on the table, and not realizing that we need to stop one day. We need to create room and money and time for those dreams that we need to pursue other than just bringing food to the table. Third regret, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. In order to keep peace with others, they suppressed their feelings. As a result, they settled for a mediocre life and never became what they were capable of becoming. Many developed, it seems, illness because of the resentment and the bitterness that they had with others. Number 4, I wish I stayed in touch with my friends. It seems many were caught up with their lives, so they lost their true friends. And when they were dying, they were literally dying to see their friends and talk to them heart to heart. Barney writes, everyone missed their friends while they were dying. The 5th regret, I wish I let myself to be more happier. Barney writes in a book that many did not realize that happiness is a choice. The coziness of their comfort zone kept them in their old patterns and habits. Remember that Navaratri? Fear of change kept them pretending to others that they are living a contented life, but deep within they were longing for that laughter with friends, sharing time with people they loved. They missed that silliness in their lives. That was the excerpt from the book of the top 5 regrets of dying by Brony Bar. What are your top regrets? What are the different paths that you're going to take to that peak? When you stand in that peak one day, that someday, what is that you're going to do? Taking this 5 knowledge that we have from the people who have lived ahead of us, and at that stage when they're living on standing on that peak, this is the experiences they shared. We are wise people. We have to learn from the experiences of others. Let's resolve to have a wise life. Living wisely is an art, is a grace. So let's pray to Goddess Siddhidatri to bless us with that regret-free living. Let her bless us with all the auspiciousness so that we could live a life that is regret-free, that is perfect when we stand on that peak someday. Thanks for the wonderful 9 days. I completely enjoyed reading the texts and researching and bringing it to you. Last year I wrote on a blog on leadership lessons from all the Indian festivals. So it was a great energizer to bring the life lessons from Navaratri as a start. I hope to bring a lot more videos. So when I bring those videos, I want to bring it to you quickly. Some of you are watching this video through the link that I sent on WhatsApp to you. Some of you are seeing this through the emailers that I sent. The link was there, and many of you have connected here or seeing this video through the internet and the social media. Many of you have wanted to connect with me. So what I propose to do is I've given a WhatsApp group link, and I'll be posting some videos and some readings that would be helpful for all of us time to time, and we can progress as a community going forward. I also suggest that you buy my book if you're a working professional or having a business. This is a great book for you to start with. Just like how I've done the relationship with Navaratri, here I've done this with cricket. It's leadership lessons from 22 yards. Dilip Pensarkar, the ex-Indian captain and the person who found Dhoni and Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma as a talent. So Dilip Pensarkar has given the foreword for this book, and And the other people who have given testimony for this book has been Lal-Chand Rajput, Mr. Prakash Iyer, and many stalwarts have read this book and given their feedbacks. So I strongly suggest you buy this book. They say you're as good or as big as your team is. I want to thank my team. Without them, this would not be possible. I actually started conceiving this idea just about 2 or 3 days before Navaratri, and I shared this with my good friend and my fellow pilot who has helped me in editing and bringing the beautiful titles, Ninad. I was sending the videos in the night, and he would edit it and it would be up in the morning. So that was the speed. So it was great having Ninad on board in this project. And Satish from Bangalore, who took care of all the posters, all the creatives, and all the social media engagement. It was so great. In fact, I just told a day before Navaratri start that we are going to do this, and he was so quick enough to get things done. And we had a lot of technical glitches as we went in, but it was superb to get all that sorted out in a jiffy. I want to thank my colleague and good friends Namit and Alok for taking care of me looking good with the attires they curated for me for each day of Navaratri. It was so good, and so thankful for them to have given the attire that I'm wearing today and the last 8 days. So thanks guys for wonderful support. My immense gratitude to each one of you who have watched this video today and the last 8 days. I enjoyed it thoroughly bringing this to you. I believe it's just a beginning of our journey, discovering our goals and to become the total quality individual that we want to be. Please understand, I'm no teacher, I'm just another fellow individual, just like you, pursuing my goals. And if there is anything that was a mistake in these presentations, just connect with me if there is anything, and I'll surely take that on board. On that note, thank you so very much. It's bye from me now. Look forward to seeing you in another video. Happy Navaratri. Bye bye.